I'm going to keep this hand. We have a, I mean, we don't have black yet, but we have Kodama's Reach to find us a couple, and Toxic Deluge to board wipe, and Bone Shredder to take care of other threats, so I actually like this hand. We do have two fatties in hand, but we can potentially find something to help with that. All right, very good. So we're playing against White Weenie, which means I would wager that a turn 3 Toxic Deluge is going to happen. But hopefully he just burns himself out at that point, and we can find a road to recover. I think I'm probably going to end up cutting the Sundering Titan, I imagine. Alright, so Fauna Shaman follow-up is possible here. We'll see if he's got like a Brimaz or something. Alright, well, he's dealing a lot of damage to us. We're going to be at 9 after the Deluge. I think the biggest issue is I would have much preferred him follow up with a creature there. Oh, well, perfect. Thank you. 2 cards left in hand. So we just Deluge now for a lot of good value. And opponent's left with 2 cards in hand, which isn't a ton, but it's certainly enough to still beat us. We do have the Bone Shredder for the first one that I can or can't deal with. And we're working our way towards Kakusho. I think Fauna Shaman's probably going to ditch the Sundering Titan for something. All right, Seeker. I think that's certainly worthy of Bone Shredder. 1 card left in our opponent's hand, so we basically just need to survive a bit longer here. All right, very good. The question is, do I want to pay for Bone Shredder? I feel like I do because it's a chump block at the very least. Jeez. Another creature, which deals pretty good damage to us. Do I want to play the Echo? I guess so, because I can still play Fauna Shaman this turn, and it buys me a block, basically. Alright, so I can get Kakusho online next turn, which is also good. I think I am going to end up ditching the Sundering Titan, and I'm probably sideboarding out of Sundering Titan too. So I am going to chump block with Bone Shredder. It just saves me 3 life. I hope we don't get Ravages of Ward, but if it happens, it happens. We have a decent sideboard though. We have Disfigure. I don't think I'm gonna do Thoughtseize. That seems too dangerous. But we do have Disfigure, which is good. I actually like our Bone Shredder saving us 3 life and going in our yard here, since res spells will be good for that. We can cast Kakusho here, which is certainly good. So I think we just cast Kakusho and pass. She comes in tapped, which is unfortunate, but we can block the Imposing Sovereign with our Fauna Shaman, which I do think I'm going to do. And guess we're only a couple turns from Sundering Titan, so that's not the worst. Can I find something? Maybe Precursor Golem? Could do Visara. Yeah, maybe next turn I ditch Sundering Titan for Visara. I can't really afford to take 6 here, though, so if he attacks with both, I guess I just block. Sundering Titan still is a big enough body where it could probably help us recover. So I guess if he double attacks... Alright, he's not double attacking, so we'll just take 3. We go to 6. Now, Journey's a pretty big deal. Visara doesn't seem like the best option anymore. I was kind of hoping for not another creature, but I think we're probably going to lose now, unfortunately. Well, maybe I spoke too soon, but I guess they all come in tapped. So, can I survive? No, because figure gets big. I block figure, I take 6. Do I have anything that can gain life? I can't find my Bone Shredder. It's already gone. Massacre Worm. Massacre Worm does it. Beautiful. All right. So we ditch. Pay this. Titan's gone. Massacre Worm is the perfect play here. No cards left in our opponent's hand. Wipe our opponent's board. Pretty picturesque, especially since he was tapped out, so he can't even use the figure. Very nice. Very nice position now. Fauna Shaman doing so much work for us. All right, so I need to come up with some solutions now because our opponent's deck is quite good. We haven't necessarily even won yet. I mean, if he has a flyer that I can't immediately deal with, I'm still in pretty big trouble. Well, Damnate helps. So I guess we just get in for 8, drop the Avenger, and pass. We are giving our opponent information, but that is information I'm willing to give. Opponent's deck is very good. It's super creature-based. Thankfully, I feel like we have a good matchup because we have Toxic Deluge, Damnation. Got some more stuff we're going to sideboard into. Disfigure is coming in. I actually like the Nighthawk in this match, I think, too. It like blocks everything he's got and has lifelink. It seems really good. Even Tendrils doesn't seem awful. Life gain plus removal. Living Death, probably a liability. I don't want him to get all his guys back. Although if I have Massacre Worm in the yard, that's not a huge deal. Titan's gone. It's just not good in this match. Maybe I think I actually want Wall Blossoms too. It's not as good, I admit, but I could do Reclamation Sage for destruction of the Crusade, which probably would pan out well for us, but I'm not exactly feeling it. Let's probably ditch Stinkweed Imp again. It's just not like, it's not bad, especially since it blocks and kills something, but he's got multiple First Strikers too, which is an issue. Whip should be huge in this match. Precursor Golem is probably pretty good in this match. I need to make one more cut. I mean, maybe I don't have to play Wall of Blossoms. It doesn't actually deal with any of his board. It just lends us a blocker, but I kind of feel like that's pretty huge for us, actually. Can't really cut the guys that mill for us, but maybe I do. Maybe the Mulch goes. I like self-mill quite a bit, but maybe between Satyr Wayfinder and hard casting stuff, we're okay. I don't have a ton of ways to get rid of Inferno Titan, but Fauna Shaman and maybe Harmonize is too slow in this matchup. I feel like I can't afford to Harmonize, to be honest. I love Harmonize. I love card advantage. I kind of want Garrick too. Is that possible? Maybe I cut Mulch for Garrick. Let's just like, I feel like we just get in a position where everything we have deals with his stuff reasonably well. Like even Tendrils, like I said. Tendrils is pretty good here. Mom's going to be a problem, but I do have board wipes for that. I think this is a good, Tendrils is fine. I don't know what I'd cut for it though. Would I rather have that than Wall of Blossoms? Wall of Blossoms cheap though, is kind of why I like it. I still like the Grim Monolith because I feel like we need to power out fatties as quick as possible. Primal Command seems actually essential for the life gain and finding creatures, but maybe it's too slow. Alright, I've got 5 seconds. I guess I got to run it like this. There was a lot of sideboard decisions to be made there. That was challenging. Yeah, this hand seems fine. I can Fauna Shaman. I wish I had Thragtusk, but Fauna Shaman can do some stuff for us. No 1-drop is certainly good. Ooh. Get a Disfigure. Even if he has Thalia, I just have to wait 1 turn. And then I'll take her out. Precinct Captain, we get the answer for that, which is quite good. So we'll just disfigure that now. Untap. Nighthawk is going to be good, so why don't we... I think we actually Wayfinder, hopefully find a swamp. Very good. All right, ooh, lost some good cards there. Unfortunately, no creatures and multiple removal spells that I'd want were ditched. But we do have a Nighthawk next turn, which I think is actually very good in this match. I don't even think, I know is very good in this match. Could have Journey, I guess, but it's okay. Thalia, not a huge deal. Massacre Worm's a good draw. I mean, we can't cast it yet, but we're like just a black source away at this point. So we could have Journey for Vampire Nighthawk, but we're still in okay shape if that happens. I definitely didn't like what we milled off of Wayfinder. It was, like I said, it was 3 really important cards in this matchup, but... Well, I mean, Animate Dead is just important for our deck, but... It's okay. That could have been, you know, 3 creatures, and then we drew an Animate Dead, so it would have been way better. It just didn't pan out exactly the way we wanted. I do have to really pay attention to Thalia and keep ahead of that. It's easy to forget. All right, Journey on the Nighthawk. So I didn't bring in the Reclamation Sage, which would have helped with the Journey and the Crusade. Maybe I do need to bring that in, but we'll see. All right, well, going to have to get towards that. Well, not exactly the draw I want, I'm not going to lie. Basically, if I can resolve Massacre Worm this game, I really feel like we likely win. So if I can draw another creature, maybe I just ditch it to find a Wood Elves so I can play and get my Bayou. As backwards as that might seem, it's not that bad. Alright, take some more damage. 2 cards left in our opponent's hand. Ooh, Elspeth's going to be a tough one to beat. But I'm just going to have to roll with the punches on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, not exactly the draw I'm looking for. In fact, it's probably one of the last draws I'm looking for. Yeah, not much I can do about it. So I guess we continue. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Satyr Wayfinder almost costs us the game to a certain extent. But we still have plenty of draws that bring us back in this. We just actually have to draw them. I think a big issue is this Elspeth's just going to break us apart real fast. So I basically need to draw a Black Source next turn. I feel like we die if I don't draw a Black Source next turn, but only because Elspeth on a Boros Elite attacking in, or just Elspeth Flight on Soldier swing in, is just hugely good against us. I'm probably just going to block with Wayfinder this turn to protect as much damage as possible. I kind of hope he jumps the Boros Elite and attacks, because I'd rather trade with the Soldier and take a bunch of damage. I guess 7. The draws could have gone completely different this game, and I think we would have just rolled our opponent. I mean, we're not even out of it yet. We still have some good options, but I would have preferred to not have to go to a game 3. Okay. Well, we're going to trade with a Soldier here and take some excessive damage, unfortunately, but just trying to set up for a Massacre Worm if possible. One card left in hand, Soldier, no more plays, that's good. So black off the top would be ideal. Damnate, not that bad. Not exactly ideal either, though. I think I have to cast Damnation. I'm going to lose my Fauna Shaman, which is certainly unfortunate, but I think we just swing at Elspeth, and then I play Damnation. All right, he wisely blocked. Got to pay the extra mana. Damnation, not for as much value as I'd like, but if like I said, if I can Massacre Worm, I feel good. At least we'll have a fatty out there. If I find a res spell, I'm also, I guess, not that good, but there's a lot of draws I could get that'd be good here. But I will have to get them. Ranger of Eos, I would say, is one of the most powerful things he could play there, unfortunately for us, but can't expect him to... Well, ideally he plays them both here, and then Massacre Worm crushes his dreams, but we will need to find a black land to do that. I think if we don't, I think this might be our last turn. I'm trying to think, because if he gets Soldier Token, jumps next turn, it could be he doesn't play into our... Alright, he is playing into it, so 3, 6, 7, 8. Looks like he's saving the figure, which I think is a good idea on his part. Land over Waste does work, so let's just Massacre Worm now. I can't really afford to wait. So we'll play it, board wipe. He can get a figure, which is pretty good for him, but Massacre Worm's doing his job. I think the problem is he can get a figure plus a soldier. He's going to get to the point where he emblems, which is certainly not good for us, but yeah, well, it's a problem. Ooh. Guess we attack Elspeth. I think we're still in pretty big trouble because he's probably just going to block here. Then he's going to be able to emblem. Then he's going to eventually be able to get an 8/8 flying indestructible first strike. Not sure I'm going to be able to beat that. Guess he is losing some more life, which is good. Gotta play Visara. This forces him to basically... Yeah, he's gonna... Yeah, this is pretty tough. I think he's gonna win if he emblems, because I don't know if I can dish out enough damage to figure to successfully win here. He basically has to emblem. So I'm forcing him to emblem, but then he can just... He's got the mana, unfortunately, just enough to get the figure to an 8/8 point. Oh, and he had Path to Exile. Well, we were done anyway then. So, yeah, I wasn't going to be able to beat that anyway. That's unfortunate. That was his last card. So, yeah, I think we just lose to Elspeth. Well, we really lose to figure, I guess, but that's unfortunate. I guess we could draw Bone Splinter if he doesn't use Elspeth. Oh, we just lose anyway. What am I talking about? Elspeth's an amazing card. What am I talking about? He would have been able, even if he didn't have the path, he would have threatened lethal there, so I would have been forced to block. So he had everything that game. I thought we had everything, but he actually legitimately had everything. Reclamation Sage now for Crusade and Journey to Nowhere. I guess I probably want to do that. What do I want to get rid of? This is such a challenging sideboard. Maybe we get rid of the Wall of Blossoms. It's good. It's just not quite up to snuff, I don't think. Primal Command, life gain seems good, and it gets rid of the Elspeth potentially. I almost want Regrowth to get back Damnation. That seems really good too. There's so many things that seem good in this matchup. Inferno Titan, if I res it, just wrecks his entire world. Maybe I take out some ramp, like Kodama's Reach. As much as I like ramp in this matchup, It's like too slow. I'd almost rather just all this spot removal and stuff. I got to admit, I want this regrowth for like Deluge and Damnation. Or even Disfigure in a pinch. Yeah, I kind of feel like regrowth helps us quite a bit. I could ditch the Wood Elves, but not sure if that's wise. What do I cut? I feel like Primal Command is really beneficial because gaining 7 or getting rid of Elspeth is probably pretty good for us. What is my last cut? I really can't decide. It's challenging. Do I want to cut one of my res spells, maybe? It's probably not a good idea. Could cut the Wood Elves, I guess. Kind of like what they do. But they're probably not good enough. I really don't know. Alright, I'm going to cut Wood Elves. I cut 2 ramp spells, which I admit I'm not thrilled about, but I mean, I could cut Grim Monolith instead. I just think Grim Monolith could do a lot of work for us. Precursor Golem's not good against Path to Exile, I guess, but I don't know. I guess we'll try it like this. This is actually fine. We don't have a Black Source yet, but we have a Wayfinder, and then we'll have Bone Shredder, possibly Regrowth. I wish I had a Swamp in the Sand, but it's okay. Definitely want our opponent to mulligan if at all possible. Our opponent's got a good deck. Opponent seems to be tanking on his hand. Or he could just be away from keyboard, but it seems more likely he's tanking on his hand, which I feel like is a good sign for us. It means it's not a snap keep. Okay, opponent was AFK for a while, but he's back now, so let's jam this out. So we'll drop Satyr Wayfinder, definitely hoping to find a Black Source off of it or a Black Land in the next couple turns. We will need a couple of them to cast Liliana, but if we can get the Bone Shredder and then regrowth the Bone Shredder and maybe play it again, I feel like that'll be best for us. Unfortunately, I think our opponent was just AFK and not tanking on his hand, which is not exactly what I was hoping for. I definitely wanted our opponent to be tanking on his hand because that would indicate that it's not a good hand, but it turns out he just kept it after like 5 minutes of sitting there. So I think that just means he was away from his keyboard because we took a long time in sideboard. And then he came back and he's like, oh, okay, I have a bomb hand, I'll keep it. So that's just what I'm envisioning in my mind. Whether or not that's true, I guess we'll find out. All right, opponent is being a bit slow here. Not sure why. He just came back and I'm not sure if he's like double queuing or if he's just having connection issues or something along those lines, but he didn't have a 1-drop, which is good. Did not draw the Swamp, however, which could equal a problem. I kind of wish Inferno Titan was 1 card down, and we also did not find our Black Source, so we're in a bit of trouble, but we can still potentially find it next turn or possibly the turn after that. Otherwise, we're definitely going to have some issues here. So wouldn't mind Swamp. No, not quite that one. Yeah, it's not great for us. Not great for us. I can let Wayfinder die, then regrowth Wayfinder, but it costs me 3 mana to regrowth now. So I guess we take our 2. Don't have a black mana yet, which is certainly problematic. Voice of Resurgence, that's also not that great for us. There's our black source. Alright, so now we've got this. I think we just Bone Shredder the Dahlia. I could hit the voice, but I feel like Bone Shredder Dahlia makes more sense. I want to be able to cheaply cast Liliana and regrowth and stuff like that. So now we at least have a chump blocker for voice. And I can regrowth plus play Bone Shredder again. He could path the Bone Shredder too. But I'd actually be okay with that. I mean, better the Bone Shredder gets pathed than, like, I don't know, Avenger or something. Yeah, this is actually okay. He does take care of a guy that I wanted, but we get another black mana, which is certainly essential. And do a little bit of deck thinning. We can cast Liliana now. Oh no. Well, it's pretty bad for us. I guess we're just a mana away from regrowth, so I may actually have to regrowth my... I don't know, actually. Definitely wanted him to miss there. Maybe I regrowth a Bayou to get the Liliana down. I almost need to regrowth the Plains, but I think I need to regrowth the Bayou. I need to hit my land drops. I mean, I could do the Disfigure too, but he's going to get creatures eventually. Ah, I'm in some big trouble. I'm in some hot water now. That Armageddon was brutal. Yeah, I'm in some real hot water now. That Armageddon was just brutal. I could wait on the regrowth till next turn. What does that do? I don't think it does anything. If I draw a black source, maybe I do the Disfigure instead to kill the voice. Still gives him a creature. If he has another land drop, he's going to start playing more creatures. Disfigure doesn't do all that much. I kind of want to regrowth the Plains so I can do Unburial Rites. But Unburial Rites doesn't do anything until I get actual cards in my yard. Liliana would let me discard Inferno Titan and then I could Unburial Rites it back. So I think I do actually regrowth my Plains. But I have to hit another swamp. But I'm gonna need that white source. I need the Unburial Rites. I think we hit the Plains. Not thrilling, I know. I could wait, but I might draw other things I want to play in the meantime. So we bring back the white mana, and I guess at this point I probably just chump. No plays is good. Black source, please. Thank you. Now we do Liliana, and we discard Inferno Titan. The reason Inferno Titan's getting discarded is because I can never cast it. And if I can Unburial Rites it, I might just clean up the game. He could have Journey, I guess, but still seems right. Let's see who he attacks. He does attack Liliana, which is good. Opposing Sovereign, that doesn't matter in the least. Alright. Yeah, alright, that was a great draw. So now we Unburial Rites, bring back Inferno Titan. Do this, not like that. Take out his board. does get another dude, but it's not a huge deal. Then we'll plus the Liliana. And I think at this point we're getting rid of Avenger or Visara. Let's do Avenger because I'm kind of close to just hard casting Visara. And if I bring back Avenger, if I draw land, he can bring back Ranger with Exhume, but he has to deal with Inferno Titan. He's got one card left in hand. He can't kill Liliana. His best Exhume target is he did have the Journey, which is unfortunate since he only had 2 cards in hand. Actually, 1. No, I guess 2 cards, but it's still okay. He has 48 seconds to beat us too, so I think we're in pretty good shape. Yeah. Now he's just dead. All right. I think that's gonna seal it. I did have a lot of lands. It's a good point. He did blow up a lot, but the regrowth, that regrowth for the plains was essential to winning this game, I think. All right. Yep. Satisfied with that win. And we'll see you in the finals.